Train Sim World 6 Roadmap October 2025. TLDR too long, didn't read summary. 1. Train Sim World 6. Launch status and feedback. 2. Content up ahead. Frankenbahn, Stuttgart, Heilbronn. NEC New York to Stamford. 3. Third-party partners. Birmingham, crew from All Aboard Studios. Class 805 from All Aboard Studios. Announcing the Class 171 and 377/3 pack from Rivet Games. Liberec, Star Alpaca from Vector Simulations. Lisbon, Setable from Verdua via 360. Tadami Line from Union Workshop. Announcing the Class 90 electric locomotive from Alan Thompson Simulation. Expert DB-BR 145 from TSG. DB-BR 420 from TSG. Crew Preston from Just Trains. TFW Class 142 Pacer from Just Trains. Santa Fe Gameplay Pack from High Iron Simulation. HST Farewell Tour from Grump Dog Games. 4. Patches and updates. Train Sim World 6 upcoming patches. Epic Games compatible content timeline. Unbranded Caltrain content returning. PC editor improvements and patches. 5. Community Corner. New TSW6 monthly mastery rewards, live now. Train Sim World API support. TSW6 available on NVIDIA GeForce Now. A new game announcement coming next week. The Train Sim World Roadmap. Welcome to the first Train Sim World 6 roadmap following release. Firstly, an important message thank you to everyone in our community who have been playing Train Sim World 6 since the early access and launch phases, sharing key feedback and talking directly with our teams whilst we get set up across our game platforms. It's been a pleasure this year to see the incredible range of screenshots from the community, sharing reactions of your first experiences with the new features and routes/locals you've picked up. We'd once again like to share a massive thank you to all of the people who have helped on board and share information to help welcome new and returning players onto TSW6 throughout early access until launch. If you're looking to get involved in our screenshot competitions and be highlighted on our articles/socials, be sure to join our new Dovetail Games Discord. For those who are joining us for the first time, this roadmap article is a monthly check-in that continues the conversation between our teams and all of you for what to expect beyond the launch from both us and our partners, including brand new add-on announcements, new updates and details, sneak peeks on our current routes and development, more ways for you to get involved with our community, and challenging yourself with new mastery rewards available in-game and any key information that you'll need to know. Fans of UK Freight, you may want to keep scrolling for a new announce. We'll also be outlining our progress for post-launch improvements coming to TSW6 and a summary of what we've been able to release so far. We're listening closely to your feedback and reports, and currently in the process of building our next patches to help improve your experience. As a bonus this edition, we're almost ready to announce our brand new Dovetail Games title that we teased before our Dovetail Direct this year. Finally, if you're new or returning, be sure to join us for our October 2025 Roadmap live stream tonight, Thursday, October 9th at 1800 UTC/1900 BST, hosted by our executive producer of Trains and Community and Marketing Director, where we'll discuss all of the points below and answer your questions live. Train Sim World 6 free starter pack until November 11th. We've been very excited to keep growing the TSW community and welcoming even more players than ever before as we launch TSW6. And we've brought back our free starter pack this year, so if you've not had a chance to upgrade to TSW6, then why not give it a go for free, whether you're an existing player or brand new to the rails. For those of you who already play TSW, this is a great chance to upgrade and bring all of your TSW compatible content into the latest edition, with more updates and improvements supported, and making use of the new SD40 in the training center. As a reminder, make sure to claim the free starter pack before it goes away on November 11th, as it will stay in your account to play forever, and it will be your way to access the latest improvements and features. You'll also be able to purchase new TSW6 content, like the upcoming Birmingham crew route. For more information on the free starter pack, please read our Train Sim World 6 FAQs. Looking for support? Just before we dive into the new content on the way, here's a quick reminder for anyone looking for support with Train Sim World 6 of the available guides and websites you can access to answer any question you have. Content up ahead. Let's dive into the new add-ons coming, first starting with new releases from our own development teams, and then moving into add-ons from our partners. Frankenbahn, Stuttgart, Heilbronn from Dovetail Games. Let's start off with a new route for our fans of German content, of course. This is our announced adventure to Southwest Germany, with 50 km freight yards and fuels, and of course an extremely busy timetable. Last month we shared the above route map alongside some WIP models, and today we've got updated models for the new BR140 locomotive and Wittenberger steel engine from our development team to showcase. We're also checking in with our timetable expert Joe for a look at the ongoing development. Joe, it's early progress on the layers, but an exciting one I wanted to share, and so far full-length IR service up to Heilbronn and beyond to Erfurt, returning to Stuttgart later in the day. The train is unique, being pulled by a diesel loco and having just 4 coaches. We'll continue to keep you updated on our progress with the add-on, some extra BTS detail. Our teams will be traveling to the route for an audio recording next week, so hopefully in our November roundup we can share some screenshots from that visit. NEC New York, Stamford from Dovetail Games. Also coming from our teams is a whole new experience exploring the Northeast Corridor. Get ready for a new Metro North route from Grand Central or New York Penn to Stamford in the brand new Metro North M8 locomotive. Back in August this year, as part of our Dovetail Direct, we shared the scintilla summary of the route, and in our upcoming roadmaps, you can expect more details and information as it comes through. For now, here's the route map you can expect from the line. Train Sim World Partner Program. Let's now take a closer look at the incredible range of content we have coming for TSW6 from our wonderful third-party developers and partners. Birmingham, crew from All Aboard Studios. Starting this off with a scoop from All Aboard Studios, coming in as their first release, get ready for Birmingham Crew, the first add-on arriving into TSW6. Before we hear more from OBS themselves, in case you missed it, we shared a dedicated Birmingham Crew article yesterday, which has lots of details and information about the services and timetable you can expect with the route. OBS, we are edging closer to the release of our first Train Sim World route, WCML Birmingham to Crew, and following the successful addition of several new trains to Train Sim World in recent months, we have been able to significantly expand the traffic operating across the route. When you load into WCML Birmingham to Crew, you will find a total of 522 drivable services and more than 2,094 total services in the full timetable with all layers selected. It should stand as one of the most active and varied modern passenger timetables available in the game to date. From the start, our goal was to recreate the real intensity of the West Coast Main Line. It is one of the busiest railway corridors in the UK, shared by high-speed, regional, local and freight services all operating together on fast and slow lines. To capture that in Train Sim World, we had to go beyond building a static route and deliver something living, something that moves, responds and feels alive. At the heart of the timetable is the Class 350 Desiro, delivered in all 3 subclasses 350/1, 350/2 and 350/3, each carrying their distinct 2019 livery. These units handle a broad mix of services, from stoppers between Birmingham and Wolverhampton, to semi-fast services between Birmingham and Crewe, along with a selection of longer distance services joining en route from London at Stafford. Layer content builds on this foundation, and you'll be able to find 1. Class 390 Pendolino. 2. Class 220 Voyager. 3. Class 170 Turbostar. 4. Class 150 and Class 153 Substitute and for transport for Wales movements at Crewe. 5. Class 323 EMU performing ECS trips to and from Soho Depot and handling short stoppers. Birmingham New Street becomes a hub of movement with over 100 movements per hour during peak periods. The combination of Class 220, 170, 323, 390 and additional Class 350 units makes for a busy and reactive experience at one of Britain's most complex stations. Up at Crewe, the action continues with Northern 323s arriving from Manchester, Transport for Wales services both regularly passing through and terminating, and East Midlands Railway Class 158 AI services running to and from Derby. Freight plays a vital role too. Bassett Hall Yard and its sorting sidings come to life with Class 66 operated intermodal trains, plus HKA and FKA wagon layers if you own compatible content. The yards and holding roads around Crewe are used for ECS and charter stock, with plenty of hidden movement across sidings and depots. Adding to this, Realtors provide a splash of heritage amongst the modern traction. You can expect appearances from the Class 86, Class 87, Flying Scotsman, and LMS Jubilee, often centered on Crewe but found operating right across the map. This is a route that never feels still. You might be holding it a red deep inside Birmingham New Street, winding through the 125 mph fast curves of Staffordshire in a Class 390, or working ECS moves to and from depots at Soho, Oxley, or Crewe, each playing a role in keeping the timetable in motion. Wherever you are, there is always movement, always something ahead or behind, always a railway at work. We hope this gives you a taste of the scale and energy packed into WCML Birmingham to Crewe. See you on the West Coast Main Line soon. As a note, this route will be for PC and Gen 9 console Xbox Series S/X and PS5 platforms only. We can't wait to show you more, and don't forget to catch our Birmingham Crewe preview live stream next week on the Train Sim World YouTube/Twitch channels. Let's see what else the All Aboard Studios team are working on. Class 805 from All Aboard Studios. OBS, all aboard for a new chapter in West Coast mainline operations. The BR Class 805 is now making its mark in Train Sim World, bringing with it a new level of realism, control, and immersion for inter-city travel between London Euston and Milton Keynes. This 5-car bi-mode unit is built for flexibility, with seamless transitions between electric and diesel traction as you drive. You'll be managing power modes in real time, switching from electric on the fast line south of Watford to diesel when operating off the wires. Acceleration is crisp under electric traction and steady under diesel power, giving each mode a distinct feel and driving style. Inside the cab, the layout has been amended to match AMD West Coast spec. While familiar to players of the 300 family, the Class 805 cab presents its own identity with subtle layout changes, new labels, and modernized signage. These tweaks, along with updated lighting and cabin tone, reflect the real-world environment and help deliver a more immersive feel at the controls. Walk into the passenger saloon and you will see the difference immediately. All seating, carpets, tables, and branding have been updated to match AMD's real-life interior styling. The dynamic LCD-style passenger information screens, adding life and relevance to each journey. A brand new, high-detail kitchen model adds further visual fidelity and sets a new benchmark for interior accuracy. Audio has been comprehensively reworked, including completely refreshed traction motor sounds, tuned diesel engine audio, and separated mixes for the cab, passenger area, and exterior. Inside the cab, binaural audio makes the driving experience more natural and reactive to your surroundings. The 805 also benefits from the latest features in Train Sim World, including improved suspension physics, new passenger ambience, service-linked announcements, and the potential for unexpected train falls, adding new depth and challenge. Backing all of this is a brand new 2025 working timetable for the West Coast Main Line South route between London Euston and Milton Keynes Central. Included in this pack are 27 playable services based on real-world AMD West Coast diagrams, along with 5 detailed and varied scenarios that take you from cold starts to stormy express runs and everything in between. Stay tuned for more details from the OBS team, and I've heard they have another surprise that will be accompanying the Class 805 pack. Santa Fe Gameplay Pack from High Iron Simulations. Bringing 1990s railroading to the Cajon Pass route, keep the Santa Fe Gameplay Pack on your radar from the High Iron Simulation team as we get closer to release. The pack promises a robust and authentic operating experience. More than 250 timetable services and 5 scenarios will feature mainline intermodal and freight trains, switching, and locals. The services are closely based on actual Santa Fe freight schedules of the era. Additionally, Union Pacific freight action on Cajon Pass will be represented in an extra layer using up equipment from the Sherman Hill Route add-on. If you're interested in this add-on, take a dive into a massive collection of 30-plus screenshots we shared back in our TSW5 May 2025 roadmap, and get ready for the release coming shortly. Fancy something new? Let's check in with our friends at Rivet Games for a new add-on announcing the Class 171 and 377/3 pack from Rivet Games. Coming from our friends at Rivet Games is an all-new add-on. Includes 2 trains operated by Southern, the Class 171 and /7 and /8 versions, and Class 377/3. Rivet Games. These accompany a new timetable for East Coastway using the December 2017 May 2018 working timetable. It adds Gatwick Express and Thameslink AI to Brighton, as well as the London Eastbourne Southern services playable between Lewes and Eastbourne, which were missing from the original timetable. The Class 171 is a variant of the Class 170 operated by Southern. The primary difference is the fitting of the donor coupler rather than the usual BSI coupler for emergency coupling to Southern's EV fleet. Southern has shuffled around their 171s a bit, but since our timetable is set in 2017-2018, we are including the 2-car 171/7 and 4-car 171/8. The train has audio improvements which will be backported to the Cross City and 5-circle 170s. The Class 377/3 units were originally built as Class 375/3s for Connect Southeastern, later Southeastern, but 28 of them were transferred to Southern. Their designation was changed when they were transferred to reflect the fitting of DOO equipment, and they're changed to donor couplers, although the 375s would eventually get donors as well. They are formed of 3 carriages and are third rail only. The main difference between the 377/3 and the 377s already in TSW are the older headlight clusters, the interior, which is 2+2 seating throughout with first class only on one end, and the number of cars is 3 instead of 4. This change in formation also has the knock-on effect of performance feeling a little different, with one less motor coach than before. In this timetable, these will mostly operate Seaford services in addition to a few roaming sets working with the existing 377/4s. If the player owns the Class 330, they will substitute randomly for the 377/3. We'll be sharing more details about the pack, including timetable details and more in the coming weeks ahead. Currently, Rivet Games are also investigating any further changes to the East Coastway route alongside this pack, and we'll keep you updated once we can confirm and share more news. Let's cross the seas and head to a brand new country for TSW. Here comes Czechia. Liberec, Star Alpaca from Vector Simulations. Announced back in our Dovetail Direct 2025 event, we're welcoming the Vector Simulations team into the TSW family with a new country, and today even more screenshots and details for their developments. Before we hear from their team, here's a quick recap of what you can expect. Vector Simulations. As we are getting closer to release, we would like to present you some new and interesting features we have included in our route Liberec Star Alpaca. Group signals. Still many older stations in Czech Republic have group signals. This means that when signal controls multiple tracks, if a train is departing from the signal, then the dispatcher needs to call that train and say that this train can depart to avoid any confusion. So when you will be driving from Turnov or Richnov u Jablonsk na Nisu stations, dispatcher will call you on your locomotive radio first. Both signals have this diagonal black and white sign, so you will definitely be sure if you should expect call or not. Banking with Class 750, we have included some scenarios where you will need banking engines at the end of your train. Our new banking system includes simulated driver in the banking locomotives, so you won't be controlling those directly. Instead, you will be using audible signals with locomotive horn or whistle to tell banking drivers if you need to be pushed. Those drivers also try to respect speed limits, so they should also stop pushing if you will need to brake. Safety systems. Our locomotives come with LVZ and LS90 safety systems. Both of those look similar and inferior, as LS90 is a newer version of LVZ. As this route in reality doesn't use any code transmission systems, you will mostly use only vigilance features of those. But we have also implemented outside forces, which can interfere with older LVZ even if there isn't any code transmitted. So don't be surprised when a red light on the repeater will flash for a second while you are driving near high voltage power lines. Demanding scenarios. This route will come with 7 scenarios varying from easy to really demanding. You will need to operate radios, couple trains together at Leverett Yard, encounter multiple signaling and level crossing failures, and even drive diverted container train. You can find some historic and technical landmarks placed around our route. Have you ever seen Jesha TV Tower? Or have you ever visited Ruby Rojosa Castle? You can do both here. Additional included with the release, you'll be able to dive into multiple liveries for both the Class 750 and Class 843, as shown below. Thank you from the Vector Simulations team. We can't wait to show more. We can confirm that this route will be unbranded, but we hope you're able to enjoy the journey and experience a new part of the railway world with this release. As for our other new country announced from the Direct, we'll be checking in with a short update from the Birdwivaya 360 team. Lisbon, suitable from Birdwivaya 360. Joining us as another new developer for TSW6, we're being transported to Portugal for the first time. As a refresher, here's what we've shared so far. Birdwivaya 360, thanks everyone for the great feedback and the warm reception of the news on our add-on. The team has been working quite hard on adding all the little pieces that make Portugal a country unique for you to discover on Train Sim World. We can't wait to share even more about our project, but for now, here is a new screenshot from us as we progress. We'll be keeping up with their team in the coming months ahead, so if you're excited for this release, be sure to check in with our roadmaps articles regularly. Tadami line from Union Workshop. As we continue our journey across the world, we find ourselves in the familiar and welcoming grace of Union Workshop, bringing the beautiful Tadami line to TSW6 and introducing Japan as a brand new country to explore. We've been following their team for quite some time now, so if you're looking to catch up on the key updates from the Union Workshop team, please check back on our previous roadmap articles. Union Workshop Kia 40 series diesel cars were designed in 1977 to replace the aging vehicles on suburban and rural services. A total of 888 vehicles were built from 1977 to 1982. From the northernmost Hokkaido to the southernmost Kyushu, they have been widely operated all around Japan. The Kia 40 is powered by an inline 6-cylinder diesel engine outputting 220 horsepower. The power performance is far from powerful, making it quite challenging to drive on the slopes. Since 1990s, Kia 40s have been gradually replaced by newer and more powerful vehicles. However, there are still hundreds of them in operation nowadays, becoming a nostalgic symbol of rural railway lines. We'll keep you updated on more information on the release dates as the team continue to develop the add-on. Thank you to Union Workshop for this recent update. Well, what a journey. Let's bring it back home for us. What's this? Another new add-on announcement from the ADS team. Announcing the Class 90 electric locomotive from Alan Thompson Simulation. Hands up if you've been looking for new UK freight. Well, our friends at ADS have been working on the very solution with the Class 90 add-on. We are pleased to announce the arrival of the Class 90 electric locomotive for Train Sim World 6. This mixed traffic loco has been a staple of the UK rail network for over 30 years. Whether hauling passenger trains at 110 mph or container freight at 75 mph, the Class 90 is equally at home. Powered by thyristor control, it was a modernized successor to the Class 87, offering improved solid-state traction and reliability. Drivers often praise the Class 90 for its comfortable, ergonomic cab and helpful driver aids like Speed Set, which maintains a set speed and reduces workload especially on long runs. This first Class 90 DLC will highlight its freight capabilities, ensuring you can run to time up and down the West Coast Main Line South WCMLS without interfering with higher priority traffic. We're excited to share more progress soon and look forward to seeing this modern icon in action in TSW6. Let's now check in with the developments from the TSG team. Whilst we don't have any new information to share today, we'd like to remind you all on what they coming up. Expert DB-BR145 from TSG. Are you looking for the ultimate simulation experience with the highest level of detail that TSW can offer? If yes, then get ready for the second ever Expert Loco add-on coming from the TSG team, the Expert DB-BR145. offering a wealth of new features and simulations, and following the success of their first expert local release. From our Dovetail Direct event, we revealed the first bits of information about the release, with the Expert DB-BR145 in its DB and RBH livery, all new expert level features, and new T3000E container wagons. The add-on will bring more content for owners of the TSW6 Leipzig Dresden core route. DB-BR420 from TSG. As another local we've been talking about for some time, the DB-BR420 is finally shaping up and getting closer to its release. Back in August, we shared the first WIP screenshots, and the TSG also confirmed some extra information that you can expect from this local add-on. TSG, it will now contain 5 versions of the train. Of course, the well-known 8 Series Munich variant and the 6 Series Frankfurt RMB version with pocket doors and older cab. We added an orange-gray livery with a changed cab and different interiors to the pack. This variant will also be split into 3 separate trains with some differences. One Frankfurt version for AIUs on the 1984 left train timetable release with the BR194/E94 Railter pack add-on. Currently, their team are working on additional gameplay, including a timetable for Munich Augsburg replacing some of the DB-BR423s with the new 420s, and additionally the 420 will support the upcoming Stuttgart Heilbronn add-on. We'll keep you updated on more information from the TSG as we hear more, but now let's head over to the ever-popular Just.Trains for an insight into their latest announcements. Crew, Preston from Just.Trains. In our previous TSW6 August 2025 future roadmap, we shared our first glimpses of this new add-on coming from the JD team, and today we have more insights to share. Just.Trains, our next development update focuses on the 2 biggest stations on the West Coast main line between Crewe and Preston, namely Warrington Bank Quay and Wigan North Western. Warrington Bank Quay is located 24 miles north of Crewe and is a stop for many cross-country and WCML services, whilst interregional passenger trains from locations such as Scarborough will also stop here, with some of these featuring local haulage back in 1986. One of the most common types of freight train are the merry-go-round coal workings, with trains featuring up to 45 HAA hopper wagons, shuffling constantly between the pit and power station. These trains will not only be seen in the platforms at Bank Quay, but also utilizing the line to Fiddler's Ferry Power Station, which passes directly below the station itself. Outside of coal trains, a wide variety of other freight is also seen at Warrington, including container trains which can pass through at high speed. Indeed, some local changes also take place here, chiefly on steel trains, adding once again to the interest in the station. The station area is dominated and overlooked by the soap factory, which we have recreated in full detail within the route. Sadly, however, we have not been able to include the accompanying aroma that many will associate with the day spent at the north end of Warrington Bank Quay. Wigan North Western is the next station to the north of Warrington, located 11 miles down the line and 15 miles south of Preston. Again, this station is served by most of the express passenger services, though it is still possible to see these passing through at high speed, an exhilarating experience with the curves at both ends of the station. Aside from the expresses, Wigan North Western is also served by local services to and from Liverpool via St. Helens, with 2 of these continuing north to Blackpool, meaning an extended run along the WCML with a DMU is feasible in this route. Once again, a good amount of freight passes Northwestern Station, with the notable inclusion being Force 57 Freightliner, which changes from Class 47/3 to electric traction here, providing an added layer of interest for evening train spotting. We'll be providing more detail on the other exciting operations at both Warrington and Wigan in further updates, with both Warrington Arpley and Wigan Springs Branch Depot included and heavily featured. You're sure to find plenty to do on the West Coast main line, Crewe to Preston. Now, let's switch over to another add-on under development from their team. TFW Class 142 Pacer from Just.Trains. For this month's roadmap, the Just.Trains team have provided a time-lapse of all the goings-on at Cardiff Central on the Cardiff City Network route, with a new timetable included within the TFW Class 142 Pacer add-on. Just.Trains, the timetable included is set in 2019, where the service pattern on the Valley lines was quite different compared to how it is now, Instead of trains going from Corton to Penarth, the trains from Corton instead went a rather journey much quicker by foot, as it's a U-shape, and the Penarth trains instead go to Bargoed and Remy instead of Corton. You'll have a good amount to look out for, including Class 802, 150s, 165s, and HSD Castle sets for GWR traffic, 170s, and the once-a-day Class 220 for cross-country, and for the longer distance TFW services you'll have Class 150 and their XATW guys. Class 142 run most of the Valley Line diagrams, but in 2019 TFW had a couple of Class 37 diagrams with MK2S running services up to Remy, which you'll be able to drive up to Heath High level. You'll also be able to drive most of these diagrams with the Class 150 and Class 153, both of which are in their XATW liveries. We look forward to sharing more with you nearing release. The Class 153/3 comes in both original and revised XATW liveries. Additionally, the Class 150/2 comes in revised XATW livery. We'll check in with more details with the Just Trains team soon. HSD farewell tour from Grump Dog Games. Let's welcome Liam, the lead developer of Grump Dog Games, infamous for this work on the West Somerset Railway remaster and the upcoming GWE remaster. He's now got his sights on a new add-on, which we announced back in August, acting as a tribute to the HSD's final years in service with GWR, as well as a celebration of 200 years of modern railways. The Farewell Tour GDG. The HSD Farewell Pack celebrates 200 years of modern railways by focusing on one of the most recognizable trains in the UK and their final days of mainline service with GWR. Included are 7 iconic HSD power car designs that were worn by the GWR HSDs, along with 2 MK1 HSD barrier coaches designs. 1. Class 43 power car 43,002 Sir Kenneth Grange BR blue and yellow with nameplate. 2. Class 43 power car 43,093 Old Oak Common GWR green with OOC vinyl and nameplate. 3. Class 43 power car 43,185 Great Western Intercity Swallow with nameplate. 4. Class 43 power car 43,187 and 43,188 Welshman GWR green with white dragon vinyl. 5. Class 43 power car 43,188 Welshman GWR green with yellow dragon vinyl. 6. Class 43 power cars GWR green with vinyl GWR logo. 7. Class 43 power cars GWR green and branded. The included scenarios taken place on both GWE and the new Riviera line, each based on real events relating to the power cars, from the first passenger run of 43,002 in BR Blue, to the unveiling of 43,093 at the Old Oak Common Depot Open Day, and of course the final HSD runs out of Paddington. It was important to me for these scenarios that they are as authentic as possible, even on the smaller details, such as creating dynamic weather patterns based on the real-world weather of the day the scenario is based on, timings that match the train's schedule that day, and even unit numbers where possible. On the timetable side of things, the power cars sub into all existing GWR HSD services across TSW, both for the player and AI. Some extra unique services are also included for Great Western Express Remaster and Riviera Line that make use of the power cars and the MK1 HSD barrier coaches, giving players the opportunity to drive empty stock moves using the new stock. Thank you to Liam and the Grump Dog Games team. We can't wait to share more news and progress soon. Patches and updates. Recent Train Sim World 6 patches. If you were a player from early access and haven't had a chance to jump back into TSW 6 from launch, we did share an initial Day 1 patch to address some of our known issues. This patch was released on September 30th and included some key improvements. 1. Remove train faults appearing in scenarios. 2. Fix PS5 audio issues causing sharp crackles and times where it would drop out. 3. Fixed an issue causing an incorrect controller layout to appear in the UI. 4. Fixed an issue causing DTL login to not appear when selecting the sign-in option. 5. Additional key improvements for TSW 6 core routes and locos. Please see our full September 30th, 2025 update changelog on our Dovetail forums. Upcoming updates. Currently, our teams are working on the next set of updates for TSW6, the first of which is lining up to be released in the coming days, and will include further key improvements from feedback raised across the community, including 1. Added in-game guidance when train faults occur. 2. Added PZB/AWS to German/UK temporary speed restrictions. 3. Fixed train faults occurring despite the setting being disabled. 4. Fixed TSRs appearing the wrong way around. 5. Fixed TSRs appearing incorrectly on routes that do not have them implemented. 6. Fixed missing C textures at Dawlish on the Riviera line. 7. Fixed emergency brakes being applied when loading a save on the Class 220. 8. Reduced frequency of diesel engine stall faults on the Class 220. 9. Added brake apply and computer hum audio on the DBBR 294. 10. Fixed an issue where announcements would stop playing on the Morse down line. 11. Added air brake audio to the multi-level cab cars. 12. Fixed a crash occurring when loading a service on the ALP45DP. 13. Various improvements to station lighting, passengers, and clipping across all core routes. And much more. We'll confirm the full changelog when the update goes live. The second of our post-release updates that we've started working towards will also be arriving in the next couple weeks, aimed towards the second last week of October. The update journey doesn't stop here. These are just the current patches we've already started building, and we'll be continuing to take in your feedback following launch, as well as your suggestions and reports of existing issues we can resolve. Thank you to everyone for helping raise these issues to our team. We're working hard to ensure the experience is the best as it can be across all our supported platforms, and we'll keep working to make this happen. Please submit your feedback to our teams via our dedicated forums feedback threads or our Dovetail Discord feedback threads. As a final note, we're aware of a few cases where layers are appearing ahead of when we plan, one example being the Class 220 Voyager on the Manchester Airport commuter route. We're still working with the teams to deliver these updates to their expected quality, and in the case of MAC, the ATS team are continuing work on these updates for a full release. In the meantime, if you see the layers appearing, please understand this is not a full experience, and we'll share more news soon on when you can expect these to arrive, but you can enjoy it in the meantime. Epic Games compatible content. From TSW6 launch, the Epic Games Store has only supported a curated selection of the most played compatible content available to play. We know this has been frustrating, and we've heard the feedback from our communities. We've since confirmed all of the compatible content available on our other platforms will be arriving to TSW6, and this will happen in multiple phases. The second phase, introducing 17 further add-ons, will be arriving next week on October 14, 2025, and all remaining content to come at a later date. Please see our infographic below. The 17 add-ons arriving in Phase 2 will be the following. Thank you for staying patient with our teams whilst we ensure the compatibility is fully supported on Epic Games, and we continue to ensure this works in the future. We will confirm the date of the final phase of add-on compatibility as soon as we can work with Epic for a suitable time frame. Unbranded Caltrain content returning to TSW6. Back in March 2025, due to our licensing agreement with Caltrain expiring, we unfortunately had to remove some of these licensed add-ons from our store pages. Our teams work with new licensors all the time to bring an authentic experience to Train Sim World with the inclusion of real-world brands. However, in rare cases our licenses expire without renewal, and whilst we do our best to work closely with our licensors, it can result in us needing to make changes to how we distribute and sell affected content. Next week on October 16, 2025, we'll be releasing unbranded versions of the following add-ons, so that if you have previously owned the Caltrain branded versions, you'll be able to download the unbranded versions for free on the same platform and account and enjoy them in Train Sim World 6. This relates to these add-ons will also return to store pages in their unbranded form if you're looking to get this content for the first time in TSW6. For those who have been waiting for this content to return to TSW6, we appreciate your patience and understanding during this process. PC editor improvements and mod manager support. As a refresher, The Train Sim World 6 PC Editor is a PC-only editor based on Epic Games' own Unreal Engine 4 editor. This will give you the tools to create almost any content you imagine using the 3D viewport and a workflow very similar to our developers. The PC editor will only be distributed via the Epic Games Store, but will be compatible with both the Epic and Steam version of Train Sim World 6. Whilst this is a difficult and advanced tool to use, we have seen incredible community creations for new routes, locos, and feature sharing following developments using the editor, and some of these projects have even been progressed into fully released TSW add-ons. If the editor sounds interesting to you, be sure to read our PC Editor Beta FAQs for all the information you could need. With the launch of the TSW6 version of the PC editor, we've now introduced a new mod manager, which will aim to make the process of getting mods into the game simpler compared to the previous fairly complicated process for cooking and packaging. We've created a full mod manager explanation and guide on how you can work with this new tool on our forums, so please take a closer look at how this can help assist your projects. As a note, we're aware of some existing issues with the PC editor, with instances of crashing, and other feedback we received for support with uncooked assets, and our teams are now looking how we can keep assisting the editor community with future updates. If you wish to get involved with our PC editor community, or find various tutorials and guides from our team and from community members, see our dedicated PC editor forums. Community Corner. New October 2025 Mastery Posters Rewards. Alongside TSW6, we're launching a new yearly set of rewards, with our 2025-26 Mastery Badges for completing each month's challenges, but also as a new benefit this year, you'll be unlocking new 2025-26 Mastery Poster rewards that will show up on poster locations across your own content. The new Mastery will be split into 2 tiers to work through, adding more challenging goals to complete, and unlocking the Mastery Badge and Mastery Poster respectively. We hope this helps bring more value to monthly Mastery, so please let us know your feedback, and we look forward to another year of adding to your collection. Train Sim World API Support. Today, we wanted to share some detailed thoughts from our executive producer, Matt Pedalston, about TSW API support that we've been working on. Q. What exactly is an API and why should players care? Matt, API stands for Application Programming Interface, and it is how systems can talk to each other. What this means is that developers can now create their own applications which can interface directly with Train Sim World without using any kind of hacks or non-standard approaches. Q. What does the API enable that couldn't be done before? Matt, the API was specifically designed around allowing access to the internals of trains from external applications and even hardware. The main driving force for it was to allow people to make their own realistic train driving controls. It's surprisingly simple to connect a few components to a Raspberry Pi computer, write some simple code, and suddenly find yourself able to operate the throttle from a realistic lever. The API also allows access to other areas like seeing what speed limits, signals, and gradients are ahead, and even letting you control the weather. Imagine a set of physical sliders, as found on many MIDI control desks, being able to let you control the weather on the fly. Q. This all sounds like it's great for developers, but what about many players out there? Is this relevant for them? Matt, the API is going to be more directly useful to developers who can write the code, but where the players are going to benefit is from what they produce. Whether it's physical hardware controls or other fun software features in external applications, or silly things like MIDI keyboards that can control the weather. Ultimately, this benefits the players by allowing more creative people to enhance their experience in all kinds of fun and interesting ways. One of the cool things about an API like this is that people will often find new and fun ways to use the API beyond how it was intended. I can't wait to see what people do with it. Matt, unfortunately, the API is not available on the console due to platform limitations. It's something we'd like to try and find a solution for in the future, but currently access to the API is only possible on the PC. Q. If someone reading this is a developer, how are they going to make use of this API? Matt, start by reading the API documentation, follow the examples, and practice getting information in and out of the game. Read the speed of your train, set the throttle lever, change the weather, and so forth. Learn how it works and get comfortable. It won't take long if you have a basic understanding of coding. When you've understood the API, which I'd estimate as a couple of hours playing around, it's time to fire up your favorite development environment and start coding some experiments. Finally, once you've got the basics down, it's time to think about how you're going to use it and get started on some real projects. For those that like some alphabet soup with their APIs that uses HTTP requests over TCP with JSON response blocks, it's easier when you see it in standard, easy to understand stuff for a developer. Q, are there any developers already using the API? TS controllers have a range of physical hardware controls available and have updated their software to use the API for full native support of TSW6. Gone are the days of keyboard emulation for a less than satisfactory result. The API makes these devices feel much more realistic. Find out more about TS controllers here. TS controllers enhance your immersion. Another developer has released an application called Third Rails, which is a bit of a Swiss Army knife. It now has full integration using the API, and this lets players join and with friends sharing their data online, as well as with a real-time live tracking map of people playing and where they are, and many other things. Find out more about Third Rails here. thirdrails.org map tool, live radar for train simulator. Lastly, that I'm aware of, ProCab simulators are building a realistic Class 700 control desk based on the Corey's compact driver training simulator desk. The desk makes great use of the API to map the controls, dials, and other functions on the desk. Find out more at ProCab Simulators, Real Components, Simulated Reality. Matt, just about any programming language should work if you can make HTTP requests over TCP and then understand the JSON response that comes back. In most modern software development environments, those areas are covered very well, and there are usually either built and features to support them or readily downloadable support libraries to help. If you are having stuck getting started, you can probably get some useful tips from ChatGPT or something similar too. Matt, if you can't code, go and find people who are using the API such as the ones mentioned earlier. If you can code, then read the API documentation and get coding. Thank you, Matt. For any questions you may have, be sure to bring them to our roadmap queue in the thread and live stream event link below. TSW6 available on NVIDIA GeForce Now. Alongside the launch of TSW6, we also announced that Train Sim World 6 is now supported by NVIDIA's GeForce Now cloud streaming service. We are aware this has come up in a few recent Q&As. If you're hoping to learn more about the service, please see the official documentation and guides linked below. A brand new game announcement coming next week. Oh, and one more thing, back before our Dovetail Direct 2025 event, we talked about announcing a brand new Dovetail games title, which we're super excited to reveal to the world. Well, keep your calendars marked for October 15th, just next week, as the Reveal by GN Fan Fest fall lineup has now confirmed that our new title will be announced in their upcoming show. Stay tuned. We hope you're excited to see what we have planned, and we'll share more news very soon. TSW October 2025 Roadmap Live Stream. Exec Producer of Trains, Matt, and Community and Marketing Director, JD, will also be live tonight to discuss the entirety of the roadmap in full and answer your questions live. Send us your questions in advance on our October 2025 roadmap queue in a thread, and we'll answer as many as we can. The stream will begin from 1800 UTC/1900 BST on our YouTube and Twitch channels, and we can't wait to see you there. Join us in the community. Make sure you're joining our teams on our Dovetail Live forums, our new official Discord, and community-led spaces that we are active in, and let us know what you're looking forward to most.